All right, everybody. I hope it's good to see most people back from Monday's class, which was all about open houses. Today is all about open houses as well, but it is going to be how do we actually get the people, the 25 people that came through the open house, because we did such an amazing job marketing it and choosing it. How do we actually get those people to sign up to quote unquote register with us so we can pick up clients? All right, Las Vegas is in the house too. Perfect, okay, so let's recap real quick, open houses. Somebody tell me, we'll start easy with Rachel. What's one of the big things I do when I'm choosing an open house? How do I do it?
Price point.
Price, money, okay. William, how about you? What's another thing?
Location.
Location. What about the location? What's important about location? Remember, there are no wrong answers, just slow ones.
Making sure it's somewhere you want to be, or like.
There you go. Making sure it's somewhere I want to work. Okay. So we got somewhere I want to work, which is location. Price point. Why does price point matter? What's one of the nice things about it? Remember this, guys. Our 3 lead gem buckets: sphere, prospecting, and internet. Every lead can fall into one of these buckets. And prospecting, the benefits of prospecting are, I get to choose. I get to choose my price point. I get to choose my location, right? Everything is a positive and negative, and prospecting is one of those ones. That's the benefit it gives us. All right, now, what's something else that we want to do to market this open house? Give me 2 things. I just want 2 things. We did 2 things to choose it. What's another couple things to market it? What do we want to do?
Social media ads.
Social media. What else?
Mass email through the MLS to all agents.
There you go, MLS email. MLS and MLS email, just double up on it, right? IDX syndication out to all the websites.
Mm-hmm.
And then
make calls in the
mass
area.
email to all the agents. What's that? Who's got something?
You want to make calls in the area to network
There
in
you
the
go,
area to have them
Mojo
come check
Dialer
out
to
the
make
open
sure
house.
we call. Let everybody know, and not just the subdivision we're holding the open house in for nosy neighbors so we can pick up listings. We want to hit up the lower price subdivisions right next door. We know people already like the area. Maybe they want a bigger house. They want to move up. Those are the people that we want to hit. Neighborhood. Okay? And then when it comes to here, how about what's one more thing when it comes to choosing that house? Do I want something old and stale?
Days on market.
Days on market. Perfect. And then last thing. Give me one more thing.
Property condition.
Condition. I want to look at those pictures in that video. If it doesn't look like something I'd want to take my clients to, am I going to rely on people to look at those pictures and see it differently than me? No. They're going to look at it, see the same thing I saw, and they're going to pass. And I don't want to waste 3 hours of my Sunday on something that somebody's going to pass on. Right? I want to utilize those pictures and that marketing that's already been done on the property so that they will come see my house. And Misty?
Yeah.
I apologize that my back is to you a lot because I can't really see them that way. So if you ever need anything, just yell my name.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Now, what do we do to get them to, what are 2 things we do when we're setting up the open house? We've done a couple things on choosing it, a couple things on marketing. What do we do to set it up?
You mean as far as signs?
Signs. Okay, yeah, signs out front. Yep. What else?
Everything on and open.
On and open. Thank you. How about that sign on the front door? So we're doing what? We're setting those expectations, right? Mm-hmm. Front door sign. What's that sign say? Who can tell me?
The seller requests everyone sign in.
There you go. Seller kindly requests that everyone register. Sign in probably sounds nicer. Register sounds like high, like scary a little bit. Kind of like commitment. Like what am I registering for? So this is perfect. And then what was the last tip? We kind of went through it really fast at the very end of Monday's training. What was the little tip or trick that we do to get people to register? Do you guys remember?
Drawing for something.
A drawing for something, yes.
Tell them there's a drawing for $250, but everybody actually wins if they work with you.
There you go. And so, and I always talk about it, and it's like, if it's an average price point of a house, you can do a 250. So like anything around 250 to 300 here in Omaha. Price of a home, I do anything between 500, 250, 500K, Jesus. $250 to $500 for a Visa gift card, right? Something simple. If it's a higher priced home, like a $500,000 to $600,000 home, you can do more if you like. But I found this is enough to get the desired outcome. Okay? And then we always want to talk about it. It's always about knowing your numbers. Who in here, raise your hand, is willing to spend, we'll even go high, $500 to make 7K? Not nearly as many of you as I thought. Right? I would be willing to do this all day long. What is that? That's a 14K return. Tell me something else you're getting a 14K return on. Right? This is why we want, and this also, it does kind of an unintended thing that I noticed, is the people who win and actually respond to it, because don't get me wrong, there's people I say, hey, you won, and they never reach back out to me. But the people who do win and do reach back out to you and engage are typically serious. Did I spell that right? Misty, you're my spell check. Kilt it, right? They are usually more serious than the ones who do not, okay? So it's almost like a barrier of entry to get them going into the market. All right, so we've got all that. We got a bunch of people to come to our house. Now, do I still do LP Mama when I'm with somebody in person? Yes or no? Ryan says possibly. He's riding the fence on this one. Doesn't want to commit. That's fine. What do we got, Raina?
Why not? Yeah, I mean, you got to get to know them. You don't have
Perfect.
to directly do it, but why not?
Right. I don't want to like walk in, shake their hand, say, it's nice to meet you, Raina. Tell me about your location.
Yeah.
I was like, great. What's your purchasing power? Perfect. No. Stay here by the front door, please. Tell me about your motivation, right? That's not how it's going to happen. But are we still looking for the same information?
Yep.
We're just having a conversation face to face, so it's a little bit different, right? So again, real quick, L, location. For those of you who do not know, purchasing power. Motivation. And then it is going to be agent, mortgage, and appointment. And remember, help me out here. What's the most important one on there?
Appointments.
Yeah, yes. That's the best thing about an open house. We have an impromptu appointment right off the bat. Okay, so somebody comes in. Somebody tell me the first thing we say to somebody when they come in.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Raina. What else? What happens after that?
Let me tell you how great the house is.
Tell you, okay, is that my goal?
No, I just want to make
Misty
them feel
says no.
comfortable.
Misty says, do I need to tell them how great that kitchen is, or can they see it with their own eyes? They can see it with their own eyes, right? What else? What else can I do? I want to introduce myself, obviously, right? Because I'm setting myself as am I just a door opener for them so they can get in the house? Or am I the expert?
The expert.
There we go. I'm the expert every step of the way. So, Raina, it's nice to meet you. My name's Andy Cuney. I'm with KW Elite. Come on in. Right? Make it very nice and easy. Come on in. William, my name is Andy. I'm with KW Elite here. Come on in. What's your name? Right? Always reach your hand out. Ask them what their first name is. Once I find out William's first name, I'm going to use William's name as often as I can. William, I appreciate you stopping by today. Right? And then what am I going to do? What do we always do with what do we train to always do with our clients? We educate them on how to refer us, right? I'm going to educate William on how to give me feedback on this house. People don't know how to give feedback. I'm going to be specific. I'm going to say, hey, William, great, you know what? While you're walking through the house, do me a favor on your way down after you've walked through the house. let me know 2 things. What are those 2 things I want William to tell me? Two things. What kind of piece of information do I want?
There's,
You liked and disliked?
What I liked and disliked, close. It's what I liked, right? Hey, tell me your favorite part about the house, William, on your when you get down taking a tour, right? So favorite. Now, do I want them to tell me something they didn't like? Yes, but I don't want to frame it that way. It's the same thing as saying, hey, what can you afford? Right? It has a negative connotation with it. So we say, hey, I want you to tell me your favorite part of the home, and then I want you to let me know the one thing you'd change about this house if you could. Okay? So the one thing you could change about this house if you could. So that's going to do 2 things, right? This is going to give me feedback for the clients who are graciously allowing me to use their home as my marketing tool for the day. Okay? And that's important. It also gives me insight into what they like. Right? So I know what's their favorite thing about the house. They're going to let me know. What is it? Perfect. Mental note. What is the one thing they'd like to change? That thing's also going to be important. What if they come down and say, oh, we love the fact that it has 4 bedrooms, or that the kitchen is open, or I don't care, whatever it is, right? The high ceilings, perfect. What's the one thing that you would change? Yeah, the backyard just has to be bigger. Okay? Now, what does this do for me? It gives me insight and starts the conversation so that I can start talking to them about their stuff. One of my favorite questions is, where are we at here? I'll ask somebody now. Bree, one of my favorite questions is, Bree, thank you so much for coming in today. What made you stop at this open house? Right? What made you stop at this open house? Of all the open houses on your Sunday when it's free time, I can think of a lot of better things than stopping and looking at somebody's house. Bree, what made you stop at this open house today? Oh, you know what? We drive through this on our way home from church every Sunday. Or, you know what? We really like this neighborhood because my kids go to school over here. Or whatever, right? She is giving me, because I already know the location's good. Or is it? Maybe it's not location. Maybe she says, well, actually, you know what? It's, we really don't care. It's not the location that brought us through, but they love the fact that it has 4 bedrooms and it's still in their price range. Right? She's giving me information as I talk about it. Oh, okay, so you really like the 4-bedroom. Yep, I'm making mental notes the entire time as she's walking through the home. So she likes 4-bedroom. Her kids go to school over here, whatever it is. Okay? I'm like, oh, okay, so you like it because your kids go to school over here. Do you live in the area then? You do? Oh, perfect. Do you currently rent or do you own your home? Right? It leads me into these conversations, and they're so much easier to have because on the phone, someone's just trying to get rid of you. In person, right, it's so much harder. What can I be in person? Oops. Influential. Influential. Now you know how my brain works when I'm spelling. Right? I can be influential when I'm asking these questions. Great. Then I say, you know what? How many open houses are you planning on going through today? This tells me, was it just this one that they thought to go through? Or do they have like 4 or 5 planned out? This is all useful information to me, okay? Hey, obviously this house isn't for you because that backyard is way too small. I'd love for you to take a look at this list of homes that I have that are all for sale in this same school district for about the same price point and see if any of those have bigger backyards. Because I brought those with me. We didn't talk about this information on Monday because we ran into time, but I always bring a list of whatever houses are comparable to the home I'm holding open. Right? Do we make somebody like a house? Absolutely not. We market the crap out of that house. Right? We make it visible so as many people as possible see it, and then those who like it compete. If they don't like this house, it's not my job to make them like it, right? So then my next thing is, oh, you don't like this house, how about these? There have been multiple times where I have finished an open house and scheduled appointments to go see other homes right after. I even leave it blank. I hold an open house from 1 to 3, and I tell people that, hey, I'll set up these next showings, and I'll do it, and I'll set it up for 3:30. I'll meet you at 123 Main Street, and we'll see the other 2 right after. Right? And I've had people literally sit outside in their car after the open house and follow me to the next ones. And we do showings immediately. And this has only happened twice, but I still think it's amazing to me. I've actually shown groups. So I had such a successful open house with so many people through, right? And of those 20 to 25 people through, 2 or 3 different groups were like, yeah, I'd like to see those houses. So here I am showing 3 more homes after that one to like 7 or 8 people who are not together. And we're literally just walking through, showing houses, right? And it is amazing because now in their mind, I am their agent. And I literally just picked them up. Why would I wait and say, hey, it was great to meet you at this open house, Sonia, right? It was great to meet you today. Go do whatever you're gonna do and I'll reach out to you next week to see if we can go do some showings. Nope. It's just like when somebody registers as an internet lead. I'm gonna strike while the iron is hot. I'm gonna call them while they're on the website. Why would I not schedule a showing? They're already out looking around. Why would I not schedule a showing for immediately when I'm done with this open house? Okay, and so I've had a ton of success that way. And not a ton of success of them finding a house and then they buy it. A ton of success of them choosing then to work with me. All right? And so I always block out about 3:30 to 5 for after my open house, just in case I'm able to show some more listings. And I always have those other listings, the paperwork ready so I can set up that showing right away, call my assistant, say, hey, I need these set up from 3:30 to 5 in this order, please do it for me. We're already in the neighborhood, it's perfect, right? And it helps me figure out what it is that they want. And then I'm fixing, right then and there, I am fixing agent and appointment. It's me, and it's now. And we're gonna go do it. Okay, any questions on that? So let's start a little role play here. Oh, who wants to play? Is it Jeanette Calderon?
Oh, yes. Hi, it's Anjanette.
Anjanette, sorry, Anjanette. Perfect. Okay, we have Anjanette, and let's go with Brett. Perfect. Okay, so Brett, you just walked into Anjanette's open house, okay? And she's gonna introduce herself, and you guys are gonna go from there, okay? Super simple, super easy. Remember, the fact that you're holding the open house and you got somebody in front of you face to face allows you to be influential. So, right, you're already ahead of the game. So don't put too much pressure on it, but let's see how the conversation goes. All right, so I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, go, and Jeanette, you're gonna answer the door. Got it?
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, hi. Welcome to my open house. What's your name?
My name is Brett. Nice to meet you.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you, Brett. So what made you stop by this open house?
Oh, I'm just walking around looking, kind of in the market a little bit, still undecided when I do it. So I figure I'd walk around and see what's in the market right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely. So, Brett, tell me, what's kind of bringing you to this area of La Mesa?
So I'm looking to purchase a little bit of a bigger house. My family's starting to grow. So I'm starting to look around more of the 2, 3 bedrooms instead of what my wife and I are in right now, which is a 1-bedroom apartment. So we're looking to expand a little bit from where we're at.
Oh my goodness, how many kids do you guys have?
So we have our first one on the way now.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. How exciting. Yeah, that 1 bedroom is going to be a little tight for you guys now.
Yeah, no, don't want the baby sleeping in the room all night forever. So here we get ahead of it while we can. But yeah, just looking around to expand. Nothing, I don't really have too many ideas yet. I'm just kind of in the beginning stages of it and don't really know what to do. So I'm just kind of looking.
I'm so happy we're talking right now. Do you have like an idea of what price that you and your wife are trying to stay under?
We were trying to stick around the 250,000 range. We can go over, but we prefer to stay in that range where we're most comfortable at. But if the right house did come along and it was a little bit over, we'd be willing to budge for that.
Yeah, the right house. So what does the right house look like to you?
So really the right house is what will fit our family, well, our growing family. So really 2 bedrooms is a must.
Okay, 2
3 would be
bedrooms.
nice because I do like to work from home. So it would be nice to be able to make one of those into an office or something of those sorts. And then just something with a backyard that I can have cookouts, have my dog out there, things like that, but not super picky on what I'm looking for. Don't need any major renovations or anything. I can do a lot of work on my own. So I'm not super concerned about the house being perfect, trying to move into it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So this one does have 2 bedrooms. You have an additional 2 bathrooms. It has like a patio in the back, not really like a huge backyard. What do you think about this one? Do you think this might be a fit for?
It definitely has some potential. Now with there not being a backyard, is there anything in the neighborhood that supports dogs, walking trails, places for him to run? He's very active, so I need to exercise him. So that's one of my main concerns, because he'll start tearing up the house if I don't have something like that.
Yeah, this patio space might be the right fit for having the dogs, but
Yeah.
there are about 2 couple other houses that did just come on the market. One of them does have a pretty good spacious yard, and it's right next to a trail. Here you go. They are going to be open and available later today. If you and your wife want to stop by, I'd be happy to show you guys.
I would love to do that. What time works best for you for that?
So I'll be finished at this open house by 3, so maybe about 3:30. Would that work for you?
Yeah, 3:30 would work perfect for me.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Nice job. Let's pause there. Anjanette and Brett, nice job. So I got a couple of things as listening through there. We found out location, right? You didn't jump too hard into that. You just said Mesa, and I'm assuming Mesa's relatively a large area, right? It's not just a neighborhood. So maybe drill down a little bit into that, right? And then when it came to purchasing price, you did a great job. Why? What's the motivation? Family, they're renting. You were knocking a lot of these off, which was great, right? One thing is you forgot to introduce yourself.
Oh,
You
yeah,
asked him
I
his
forgot.
name, right? And that's okay, right? It's just those little things that we get when we practice. So you want to make sure that you introduce yourself. You did a great job following up with that hook with the baby, right? Growing family. How many kids do you have now? Oh my gosh, this is your first, right? And you're going into it. You can tell Brett is not a father yet, at least the pretend Brett, right? Because not only did he say, I need an extra bedroom because I don't want the baby sleeping with me, but then he also kicked the baby out for his home office, like immediately. Like he was like, yeah, we need an extra one. And then he was like, well, but I really want a home office. Right? And I was like, well, where's the baby sleeping now? So, but I loved it. It was great. Right? So nice job, Brett. I really like that. I didn't want to let that slide by. The other thing is you did a great job, Anjanette, about when you said, okay, well, tell me what the right house is. Instead of trying to force them into saying what you liked about this house. And that's what people don't like. It's like when people walk into a car dealership or a clothing store, or they are salespeople for that product. You are not a salesperson for this house, right? You are there to open it up and market it. You want to make it about them, not the house. So it was very powerful, even though it seems like a very simple thing. It was really powerful for you to be like, oh yeah, just with that small patio, this is not going to work for you guys, right? And that had to put Brett at ease right away when he's like, oh, okay, good, I can actually talk to her about normal stuff, not about I have to defend myself from purchasing the home we're standing in, right? And that's really, really powerful. Whether you know it or not, everything we say, we either notch up or notch down. Right? Every single sentence that comes out of our mouth, in Brett's mind, you were notching up or notching down. And the more times we can notch up, the closer we get to know, like, and trust. Okay? So that was a great job. So you did a really good job with following up with the hook, finding out what his house looked like, not calling him out on kicking the baby out. That was good. About them, not the house. The only thing I would say that I would like is, besides not introducing yourself, the language. I love that you set up a showing and you went with that strategy of, hey, I know this isn't right here, but there's a couple that maybe do have some stuff that would work for you. You used language like if you would like, would it be okay? That was the kind of language about setting up that appointment. Instead, talk about it like it's an amazing opportunity. You know what we could do, Brett, if you're available, or even if you could have time, you could reach out to your wife. I'd love to show you these houses. I can set them up for 3:30. Would that work for you guys? And have it be much more, and aggressive isn't the right word, but, and somebody help me out here. What's that? Assertive. Who said that?
Assertive.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, now Brett's like, I got to make up for kicking the kid out. Assertive, right? So
Yeah.
assertive, and you want to be more assertive with it, right?
Yeah,
So
that's-
we
that's
don't
a
always
bit-
want to go through life just asking, hey, if you'd like to, I would love to possibly maybe be available if you have time. We don't
Yeah.
want that, right? We want to be in control of our own business. And the way we do that is we do not leave opportunities. We do not take advantage of those opportunities that are facing us, okay? So we want to make sure we jump on that. So Ann Jeanette, awesome. Brett, you were awesome too. And guys, this sounds very similar to a regular conversation at an open house. Do you guys understand how much easier these conversations are and how much better they flow than ones on the phone?
Yes,
And why
they're
is
in
that?
person. They're in
It all
person.
goes back in person where I can be what? It's easier to be influential, right? It is absolutely easier to be influential face to face, okay? So can you be influential over the phone? Of course you can. But man, when you get them face to face, it really changes the game. And being face to face, I would tell everybody, even if you don't get any clients, being face to face and having these interactions with people will help you when you're on the phone.
Yeah.
Right? It helps you understand what clients are looking for. So it is, some people are like, yeah, I have an open house. And I'm like, hey, even if you suck, right, at interpersonal skills and trying to get somebody to sign a registration form so you at least have a lead to follow up with, just think of it this way. It's 2 to 3 hours of face-to-face training at minimum. Even if you don't pick up a client, it's 2 to 3 hours of face-to-face training that you can be doing, which is very, very valuable. Okay, nice job. Let's put some teams against each other here. Well, it's not really against, we're all on the same team. Let's go with someone from the Duncan group and someone from the Tinsley group. And we will allow the Tinsley group to be the client and the Duncan group is the agent. Okay, are we ready there, guys?
Yeah.
I love all the nervous giggling. It's my favorite part of the day. It's my favorite. Oh, she's ready. Oh, I think she's gonna be mean. I'm sorry, I apologize ahead of time, Duncan group. We got someone here who is not playing around. All right. So, all right, perfect. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. Make sure the Duncan group's unmuted. Here we go. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. And what is your name for Tinsley team?
Brittany.
Brittany's gonna be the client. Duncan group, who's gonna be the agent?
Lori.
Okay, Lori, you're gonna be the agent. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, go. Lori, you're gonna answer the door and introduce yourself, okay? All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Hi, Brittany. Welcome to the open house. My name is Lori with the Duncan Group Properties. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What brings you to the open house today?
Well, me and my husband are looking to move to the area, and this looks like a beautiful home, so we thought we'd come by and take a look.
Okay, great. Have you been to the beach before?
I have not been to this beach before.
Okay, that's great. So how close to, I mean, this is about maybe 15 minutes from the beach. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I mean, we would love somewhere close to the beach. Of course, the closer the better, but I'm sure that price point goes up. So we're kind of just looking for something, you know, in our price range that's as close as possible.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, have you had a chance to look around at this home?
Yes,
Walk
we did.
through and- Okay, all right. What is your favorite thing here? What's the thing that you like in this home the best?
I'd have to say the kitchen. I love the open concept kitchen and the white countertops, and it's very beautiful.
Okay, okay. How many bedrooms do you need in your home?
We definitely need 3 bedrooms. And then maybe space for an office, maybe a separate office, and definitely 2 bathrooms.
Okay, well, there are 3 bedrooms in this home. You said you like the kitchen. Would you be interested in looking at any of the other homes in this neighborhood? Or maybe I could show you some, you know, a little closer to the beach, but if you like this neighborhood, there are a few more we could take a look at as well.
Sure, yeah, I'd love that. If you feel like they're kind of similar to this, definitely we'd be okay with taking a look.
How did you feel about the yard here? The size of the yard?
It it was a great space.
Okay, okay, so the yard space is definitely a need for you. Do you have animals? Do you have any dogs?
One small dog and a little cat.
Okay, that's cute. What kind of dog do you have?
He is a Jack Russell Dotson mix.
Oh, that's a good mix. That's good. I have a Maltipoo, so they're about the same size, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. So are you available later today to see any of the other homes? And
We can't do this afternoon, but we could do sometime tomorrow.
okay, tomorrow would be perfect. I have 1 o'clock open and I have a 4 o'clock open. Would one of those times work best for you?
Yes, let's do 4 o'clock.
Okay, that's good. We can pick out a few homes and see what you like, and maybe you can even compare them to this home. If you know that sounds good to you. You gonna be at the beach all week, or how long are you gonna be here?
I hope so. The longer the better.
Okay, okay. Well, that sounds good because we can take some more time if you need it. I would love to help you. So, okay.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you for stopping in today. And if you'll just fill out this sheet here and your information, and I'll get you set up for 4 o'clock tomorrow and pick out a couple. Maybe you can look on this sheet too and see what you like, and I'll get you set up and we'll get out there and look.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Nice job. Thank you so much to both of you. Now let's pick it apart like crazy and make everybody feel bad about how they did. I'm just joking. You did amazing. That was awesome. Thank you, both of you. Okay.
That's also my dog.
What's that?
I said that's also my real dog.
Oh, that's also your real dog. Oh, dog people. Okay, so I love it. You did the hook with the dog. It was really good. Here's what I would say is practice that conversation a little bit more, because even the dog conversation seemed a little forced, right? And we don't need it to be forced. Those things can be easy, right? Oh my gosh, you have a dog, what kind? Oh my God, that sounds adorable. I myself have a, right? Just make it super, and I know it's hard because not normally at your open house, you don't have 32 people watching you, right? To see how you're gonna say something. So I completely understand how that's different. So another thing, sometimes when we're really nervous, and this just comes with repetition, we are waiting to say the next thing or to ask the next question, and we're not listening to what they're actually telling us. And she opened the door for the purchasing power or price point conversation, and you moved right past it, right? She even talked about, she goes, yeah, you know what, we feel comfortable with if it's within our price point, obviously we'd like to move closer to the beach, or you know what I mean? And she was talking about price point, and there was no follow-up from you on the price point. You just kind of moved on. So we want to make sure that we're listening to what they're saying, okay? Then, if I didn't know any better, the house you were holding open was your own listing, because you really wanted to know what she liked about everything in that house. How's the kitchen? How's the backyard, right? And so we want to make sure that we use the house to break the ice. We don't want to use the house that we're in to dominate the conversation. Because honestly, I'm okay whether she likes the house or doesn't like the house, right? It doesn't matter to me either way. I just want to find out. I already know what the house is. If I find out more about what she likes, I'll know if this house is a fit or not. But we want to make sure we turn it on them and find out exactly what they are doing, okay? Then the last one was, I love that you tried to set the appointment, was awesome. I will always say it is a little bit more difficult when you offer times, and if you're offering a time, both of your times were in the afternoon, right? And so sometimes that can be hard if they work or whatever it is. So always try and offer 2 times of day, not physical times, but like periods. So I will always say, hey, does tomorrow afternoon or evening work better for you? Great. Then if they pick one, you can pick a time within there. So if I were to say, hey, does tomorrow afternoon or evening work better to go see those houses with your husband tomorrow? Oh, you know what? Actually, evening would be better because he works. Okay, evening. How about 6:30? Perfect, thanks. Right? Then we can go after which time we're going to meet. But until then, we want to try and keep it 2 different time periods, okay? Because what happens is the more questions we ask that are able to be answered with a no, that's not going to work, right? The more clunky the conversation becomes. So if I were to say, hey, does 1 or 4 work? Well, actually, neither of those work. Oh, okay. Well, how about the next day then? Would you be able to do 2 or 3? Nope. Okay, well, how about you tell me when you're available, right? And it starts to become a clunky conversation. That's why we want to break it down. We want to start with time periods. Actually, we start with day, night, or weekend. Then we start with time periods on those, and then we go into times. It's just like a lead funnel, right? It's an appointment funnel, if that makes sense. Okay, perfect. And we're going to do another one right now, and I just want to say, not one person has signed in yet. At the very end, you kind of, like last ditch effort was like, oh yeah, and if you wouldn't mind, just kind of fill this out, right? I know, right? I knew it. I saw it in your face. We want to make sure we're getting people to register, and that should be something we do up front, right? We want to make sure we're doing that right up front. So let's try this again. Okay, we did the 2 teams. Thank you, Duncan Group and Tinsley team. We've done Brett. Okay, how about we'll do Danny, and we'll do, who else has their camera on? Bree, have you gone? Nope. Okay, Bree, how about you be the client? And Danny, you can be the agent.
Okay.
And yep, I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and Bree, you're gonna be knocking on the door, and Danny, you're gonna open it up and introduce yourself, okay?
Sure, sounds good.
And, all right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to 123 Main Street. My name is Danny Marco Keller Williams. How are you today?
Hi, Danny. I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm excellent. So first, I appreciate you stopping by the open house. The sellers did ask that all guests take a minute and sign in at the guest book that I have here in the kitchen.
Okay, sure.
So I'm sorry, what was your name again?
My name's Bree.
Hey, Bree. You know, again, I appreciate you stopping by. So what brings you to this open house?
I just found you guys online, and I really like the neighborhood.
Oh, okay, okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about the neighborhood that you like? Or?
My daughter's going to be starting elementary school. I really like the schools around here, and just seems like a good starter home.
Yeah, no, definitely. The schools are very nice. So, could you tell me more about the home, or what the ideal starter home is that for you?
Yeah. Well, we've been in an apartment, me and my husband and my daughter for a few years. So, anything with a little bit more space. I noticed this one it has a little bit bigger patio space than we have. So, you know, it looked like it was in our price range. So we just had time today. Spacious rooms are what we're looking for, and a little bit of a yard.
Great, great. So, Bree, have you looked at any other homes, or is this your first one?
I've looked at a few online. This is my first one.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So, the homes are you working with an agent? Has an agent taken you into anywhere, or is this kind of really your first time kind of exploring your opportunity?
Yeah, first time coming out.
Great, great, excellent. Well, it is exciting. So, oh, I just lost my train of thought.
That's okay. It happens to everybody. I did it in front of 50 agents yesterday morning at a sales meeting.
Great, great. So you said that this price range kind of fits your, you know, what you're looking for. How did you come up with that? Are you paying cash, obtaining financing?
Well, on Zillow, it said with the mortgages, I was hoping it was in my price range.
Right, right. No, I get that. I get that. So I tell you what, Bree, I noticed that your husband's not here today. A little bit about myself. I do specialize in first-time home buyers. I like to take opportunity to have you and your husband together, and then just kind of go over what questions you may have, what's important about the home, but most importantly, really provide expectations by myself as your agent, if I were the one to be representing you, and also you as the buyer. You know, my clients have found that it really makes for a positive experience and a smooth transaction. And obviously you guys have kind of, you know, really exploring the purchase of a home. Takes about an hour or so of your time. I have time a little bit later today at 4 or, you know, tomorrow at 10. Would either work for you?
Later, maybe A phone call, we can speak. My husband's working, so that's why he couldn't make it today. But yeah, he would be happy to hear a little bit more about the buying process.
Excellent, excellent. So I could do a Zoom. Obviously, in today's world, Zoom's definitely an option. So, so what time would be best for you and your husband?
Maybe this evening, like before 7, maybe 6:30.
Okay, excellent. We can do 6:30 today. And if you would, what is your husband's name, Bree?
Jonathan.
Jonathan. All right, well, excellent. I tell you what, here in about a half hour or so, I'll create a calendar invite. I see when you sign in, I do have your email. Is that the best email and contact number for you, Bree?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what I'll do, I'll send a calendar invite, set you up for that Zoom call. I'd like to, really look forward to speaking with you and, Jonathan about the process then. In the meantime, I'd love for you to walk through the home and let me know what your thoughts are, with the home and additionally, if there's anything you would improve. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Bree, and thank you, Danny. Nice job. Okay. We don't have Dana back there, so it's whoever's going to talk. It'll pop up on their screen. But Danny, I love it, and you caught yourself. You went back and got her name. I noticed right away. I was like, wait, did he ask her name? And then you did a great job at the very end of getting the husband's name too, to make sure that you had both of them. So that was really good. Another thing is, instead of restating what the sign on the door says and then leaving it as a kind of an end, like a statement, what we want to do is we want to say, while you're signing in, I'm going to get you some information on the home to have while you walk around. So we're not stating it as another question, like, hey, just a reminder, the seller said, please sign in, or they'd like everybody to sign in. It's just it's a given that they're going to do it, right? And so, hey, guys, let me bring you to the kitchen. While you guys are signing in, I'm going to grab you some information about the house that's not public knowledge or not listed, right? And I'm going to give this to you. And so as they're going to the kitchen, then we grab that stuff up, right? We talk about it as it is already going to happen, not a if it does or if you wouldn't mind. Okay, so that's good. I love that you want to talk about educating her and her husband on the process, right? That I love that you went into, because that's something of value to a newer first-time home buyer, okay? And you went through and you got everything out of here, right? We wanted to make sure that we used the term of, with the agent, is make sure to use the term committed, which I would have taken and probably not even brought up when she said she's only looked at a house online before. She's never been in one. I wouldn't even need to go down that road, but you did, and it's fine. Mm-hmm. Then you confirmed their always confirm their contact information. The problem is when people fill out the form, this is what I see a lot. Like it'll say name here, phone number here, and email address here, and this is what I get. I can't read that. Like, is that a 7 or a 9? Is that a Gmail, right? I don't know what their last name is, because they're not, when they fill it out, they write all crappy. They write like I write. So I always pick up their sheet and say, hey, I just want to confirm this is correct. It is mikesmith64@gmail.com, right? I confirm the information with them to make sure, because this is how many times have I crushed this open house. I had 17 people register. It's so awesome. And then after I get through it, it's like, 5 already have agents, so I'm down to 12. Of the 12, I can only read 7 of them, right? So there goes another 5. And these people are waiting for me to reach out to them, and I never reach out to them because I don't know their email address, right? And it's not fun on a Monday morning trying to decipher and sending out 17 emails to what you think that email address is. Okay, so make sure that you're confirming it with them. So that's a really good job. We want to, like we talked about, we want to be assertive while we're signing in. And then there was one more thing. Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. I want to go to Laura's question. Laura, can you unmute?
Yeah.
And then explain your question again.
Yeah. First of all, sorry about the sirens. It's the first Wednesday of the month.
We just had those about now, exactly an hour ago. That's funny. Yeah, go ahead.
Gotta love it. Yes. So I've only done a few open houses. And so generally say when I do the open house is that, somebody comes to the door, I'm wanting to make sure that like, I'm treating this as like, this is my house. Like come in, I want you to feel very welcome, introduce myself, get their name, just, asking them initially, what brought you into this house today? So the other thing that I guess I want to know too, is that sometimes when you're in open houses, you get multiple people coming through. So having these conversations can be tough. So what I've done, and I want to know if this is good or bad, is that when I just, say, hey, what brought you into this open house today? Wonderful, and going back to, the seller's request, all visitors sign in, if I'm right there, or, please come into the kitchen, fill out your information. I love your tidbit about having the drawing. I'm going to do that because that helps.
I want to hear feedback on that too, how well it works. Let us know.
Yeah, and then just when they're filling their information out, like you said, I'll just take a quick look at it, just verifying their information, saying, hey, I have some great information about the house. The other thing I've done is that on like a back of the sheet is I just say, hey, if this is an area you're interested in, here's some great features or just things about the community that I can just put in. So I'll put that in there for them and then just say, please go through the house. I'm going to touch base with you right afterwards. Let's connect and have a conversation. So, and that's what I'm trying to, and I'm going at this as like right now with role play, where role playing is like, there's like no one else in the house. We can have these conversations. But when you have multiple people that you don't want to lose afterwards, I guess, what's your recommendations?
Perfect. So very good point that you're bringing up, Laura. So what I do is when somebody comes in is what we're doing a lot of time is, and Laura's exactly right. In these role plays, we are having them come into the kitchen. We're introducing ourselves, having them sign in, and then immediately asking them for feedback on the home. All they've seen is the walk to the kitchen in our role play, right? So what I do is as I have them sign up and I'm handing them that information, right? While you're signing in, I'm gonna grab you some information on this home and I give it to them. I give them that information on a clipboard. And it's a mini clipboard, right? They're literally $1 at the dollar store. But that clipboard carries a lot of weight, okay? And I want you to understand why. Is I'll give that to them and it'll be with a sheet and a pen stuck to it. And the pen will literally be like tied like by a string, okay? And this is all gonna sound really goofy. Literally, and the sheet will say, what did you like? One thing you would change. And that's all it says on there. And so when I say to that, after Laura signs in, and I'm grabbing her some information, and I hand her the clipboard, and I said, Laura, I'm gonna go ahead and cut you loose. Take a look around the house. If you have any questions, just yell for me. My name's Andy. And but when you're done, as you walk through, would you please write down the one thing that you liked the most and the one thing you'd change? And then bring that back to me so that I can ask you about that at the end, because I'm really trying to compile feedback for the sellers, because they're really interested on what they can do to be as, what's the word I'm trying to look for? As competitive as they can in this market, or whatever verbiage you want to use. And it is amazing. If I say that to them, say, hey guys, make sure you stop back, right? They will do what? Go look at the house and sneak out the front door, right? It has happened to me multiple times, and this was my wife's idea. She's like, why don't you give them a piece of value? And I was like, what? And then she went, it's the whole Seinfeld thing with George Costanza, leave something of value behind so they have to talk with you. That clipboard that literally cost $1 is something, it changes people's mind where they're not just gonna walk out with it. They feel like they have to give it back. And it's all of these little things that adds value to it, right? I have literally had, and you're talking about that, that way I can send people off into the house, right? Just as like a conveyor belt. And it is funny, I've been in a kitchen talking to somebody and nervous because other people might leave and I didn't get a chance to talk to them. Ever since I started implementing the clipboard, I started to get a line of people holding their clipboard, waiting to give it back to me with their feedback. And I'm like, ooh, this is really good, right? And so then I started changing it. Instead of like, hey, yeah, I want you to wait for about 15 minutes while I finish with these other people. They're not gonna do that. They don't wanna do that. So I'd say, hey, who's all done with the tour? And they got like 4 people with clipboards and they're like raising their hand. I'm like, guys, come on in. I'm like, okay, fire away. What kind of feedback did we have? What was the thing you guys liked? And I start having almost like a group conversation with them. And as I'm having this conversation, okay, what's one thing you guys would change? Okay, so you guys agree you both didn't like the backyard, right? And I'm just having a conversation with people. And as I'm having the conversation, mentally I'm picking out who is it that I think would be willing to work with me, right? And then I even joke, I say, okay, so how many of you are already working with a realtor or already committed to an agent? And 2 people raise their hand. And I'm like, okay, you guys, you got to go, right? No, I just joke with them. I'm like, okay, perfect. I appreciate it. And I'm going to reach out to your agent and let them know, or have your agent reach out to me if if you guys have any further questions about the home, right? And then I start talking to the other people and I start knowing, right? And asking these questions, okay? How many of you guys have actually bought a home before? Is this your first time? People raising their hands, right, whatever. How many of you have actually met with a lender though? Right? And you start, and literally I'm talking to like 3 or 4 people at once. But this right here is, we talk about the conversation hook. This is like the physical hook that keeps them in the house. And it's weird. Do people still scooch out of the house without me watching and leave a clipboard at the front desk or by the stairs or by the front door? Absolutely. But the number of people who actually return the clipboard to me goes up immensely. Okay? So it's always little things like that, right? And when I talk about it, it's all those things that you did. It's the open house you chose, because of the price point, because of the location, because you knew the area. It's all the things you did to market the open house to get the people there, and then it's all these little things. You combine them all into one open house, and this becomes a real thing, right? This becomes a thing that you can make a really good living off of, all right? So the other thing is that what I wanted to talk about was piece of information. Is always have something, because we know that some people are very, they're not always as talkative, right? Everybody in the role plays today were super friendly, right? And willing to give information. But we know some people are just like, oh no, I'm good, or oh, okay, you know, right? So I want to have a couple of pieces of information about the home that I can't get from just looking at it online. So I'll say, hey guys, you know what? Thanks for signing in. Here's the information sheet. I'm going to cut you loose. Make sure when you're done, bring the clipboard back to me, and I have just a couple of questions for you, if you wouldn't mind, right? And then we do that, and they go. And I say, oh, and by the way, if you'll notice, when you're out on the back patio, it's wired for surround sound outside, and all of the patio furniture is actually included. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew. Or, hey, let me know what you guys think of the carpet. They just installed it last week. Or, hey, whatever, right? The roof is scheduled to be replaced 2 weeks from tomorrow. Whatever it is, find some sort of piece of information that you can offer them, right? Because it also sets the expectation that you're the expert on the home, okay? So it's always good to have something like that to offer them to start conversation as well. All right, we got 6 minutes. Does anybody have any Q&A? Anybody, any questions? That was a great question, Laura. Because yes, I've told buyers, oh, Laura has another thing on here. I've told, Dana, can you click that chat? I've told buyers that they come back to talk to me, I'll have a small gift for them. Love the clipboard idea. Love it, perfect. And then somebody was saying something. It's amazing how somebody will be willing to come back just by giving them something that's worth $1. And what was the question?
It's more of a statement. I know here in Maryland, you must have, like earlier when you're talking about other potential homes with the clients or the guests that are walking through. In Maryland, the seller must sign a form stating, giving you permission to discuss other properties while they're open house.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that's just something that, different states, different, associations, you might want to verify if that's the case, that you have that signed, prior to, doing something that could impact you negatively.
Perfect, yep. So always, and that goes with everything that we teach in every class, is always make sure you check with your local and state laws, because you're going to have differences like that across the country. Victoria Sandoval, to everyone, what do you do if they refuse to sign in? Depends on how busy it is. If I'm busy, I'm not wasting my time on them. It's like, yep, fine, don't care. If I'm not very busy, then I usually tell them, that's fine, but I'm going to have to escort you through the home then. Right? I have to go with them as they walk through the home. And they're like, are you serious? Then you just know it's a bad apple, and I ask people to leave all the time. I got no worries there. You know what I mean? I got no worry, because what happens is one person comes in and sees that happen, and then that becomes the thing. Everybody's like, so I really don't have to sign in? No, right? So just know that it's okay to have people leave. They're like, you're not serious though, right? And I'm like, I am absolutely serious. The sellers had a very serious conversation with me before they left. They wanted either everybody to sign in or they couldn't come through the home. And it's not my choice. I don't get to decide who breaks that, right? Everybody's got to follow the rules. And so it's always, you can always put it off onto the seller. And it's kind of fun sometimes too, because then you get to be the big bad without it being your fault. So I had one woman who refused. I had to stand in front of her because she wouldn't take her shoes off. And they had just put in brand new carpeting throughout the home. And I was like, I cannot allow you to come through the home with your shoes on. She goes, don't worry, it'll be fine. I said, I know it's gonna be fine because you're gonna be outside. And she was like, I can't believe this. And it was just a whole thing. And I'm like, what are we doing here, man? So, but remember, it is somebody else's home and you want to treat it as such. If somebody comes in and says, I'm not willing to let you know who I am, but I would like you to allow me to walk around your home, that should raise a red flag right there, right? So, but yes, I love this. This was a good conversation today. We've got 3 minutes, so unless anybody has a question, I do want anybody who does decide to hold an open house in the next, is there anybody who is holding an open house this weekend? Okay, well, we've got a decent amount. I would love it. Try some of these things out that we talked about today, maybe the prize, just the conversation techniques, the clipboard, right? All this stuff. Try it out, and I would love to hear next week, either on Monday or Wednesday when you're back. Just throw it in the chat box. Let us know. Did it work? Did it fail miserably, right? Whatever it is, let us know. Because, guys, I can stand up here and tell you what I think you should do and what we've done in the past to have success every day of the week. But it's really powerful to then see a peer who's also on the call be like, no, I tried this and it worked, right? And that's really, really cool to see it working in action like that. All right, I hope everybody has an amazing, amazing rest of the week and weekend. And for those of you who participated today in role plays, I really appreciate you guys. And I hope everyone has a great week. Bye.
Thanks, Andy. You too.